had to charge us highly because of the distance that they had to transport the water to. Then we would also buy, and by the way, down there at the well, if you're not strong enough, you cannot get out. Because the well is at a distance and it serves a very big community. Those across the road and then this end of the road. Now these people who are using the water for commercial purposes, of course, have to take it in large quantities. Therefore, for you who is taking it in smaller quantities, you are not given priority. What you have to do is to fight for it. So, meaning that by the time those people have to bring the water to you, they have to charge you highly because of all the hassle they have to go through in order to get the water. So, we used to incur high costs. First of all, we used to have waterborne toilets, and then they used to need a lot of water. Cooking needed the water, cleaning the toilets, cleaning the classrooms, and even the girls, mainly the girls, because these are the people who need more of that water during that time of the month. So all that water was needed. So because of the large quantities that we were consuming, we had to incur high costs. Or if you cannot afford the high costs at a time, then you had to use very little water. We had to use it sparingly because the cost we could not afford. And at times these girls could not get the chance to bathe when they needed to because there was no water. So they had to wait and stay home until they would go home, or we had to release them to go home if they needed to take a bath. But now they come to school because they know they have the convenience of the bathroom, they have the water, which water may not be available in their homes because they are the same people who also use the well to get the water. So at school the water is available. So actually, some of them even come from home and choose to bathe from here. Because the water is not available at home, they leave late to go and fetch the water, fight for the water, and then take home. Meaning that that water has to be used for cooking at home, for cleaning, for bathing, and their children. They cannot fetch all that water for the whole family. So they could at least get a little for cooking, for cleaning the house, and then at times they want to leave this place when they have also bathed, so that they have to save that. And then this sanitary facility, it also provided privacy to the girls because they provided us with a washroom, which they didn't have initially. So now they can bathe, they can clean up themselves during that time of the month. They can also dispose them off because the other time we would not dispose them off, we didn't have the facility to. So now since these ones are put, we can dispose them off. Actually they can change as many times as they wish because at least now they have the privacy, they have where to dispose them off. Actually it has really pushed us.
In terms of performance?
Pardon?
Performance?
Performance of?
Classes.
Academic performance. Performance has also improved because now these children initially we didn't have enough textbooks. We used to have just a few for the teacher to use. But now we can give them chance to also access those books because now we have them in larger quantities than we used to. So now they can read on their own, they can participate. Actually, they can even read ahead of the teacher's teaching because they have the books at their disposal. So we are not having a big problem of provision of those books like it were. The other time the books were left in the hands of the teacher alone. But now they also have access to those books. That means, yes, we do not have to really strain ourselves so much because these children can read ahead. These children have the content with them, so it is not a very big hassle.
So that means you have used their money for water to buy books?
Yes.
How about during the dry spell? Is water still around this you have harvested, or you have rain all over the season?
Surely we've not yet had a very big problems with the dry spell because ever since we got the tank, we've just spent a few days without the rain, and then we use that the tap water, and actually we use the other tank as a water reservoir. So we get the pipe, we just tap it and reserve the water in the tank. So we can both harvest and then also tap it.
Okay.
much for your time and for the good work. Actually, it is very really encouraging to hear the positive responses, the change that water and sanitation can bring to children on both ways, in terms of privacy, in terms of inclusion and equity, in terms of academic, that really, maybe you cannot say, okay, they used to pass this at this range and now they are doing this, but having that benefit, that savings from water managed to bring the learning at a stage, that is very good and very positive to hear about that. Thank you very much, and it's a real learning. And I think we can also do AEE. It's really
Yeah, we really
appreciate
appreciate
what you're putting
AEE, and
through.
also we really appreciate the school for accepting the project.
Yeah,
Because if we go around, I can see this talking compound. I don't know how it is impacting the children. Yeah, you will tell us something about the talking compound.
The children.
This compound, how it impacts.
The messages. Actually, when we are trying to guide and counsel these children, we use these messages. Even the children themselves, as they peer counsel and guide themselves, they use them. So when they find their friend in the wrong, they tell them, you remember what is on the P2 wall? You see, they keep reading them. At times, some are even educative. So when they ask them, like in class, about something, then they recall what is on the wall, what is read. We usually read them at assembly time. So they recall what they read during assembly, and then they're able to write it in their work. And these messages were designed by the pupils together with the teachers. After guidance and counseling, they sat down and looked at the areas that needed frequent counseling and guidance. So they sat down and designed with their teacher, and then the teacher printed it down.